That's where I first saw Mrs. Broad's big ass. It was the biggest, roundest ass I'd ever seen. That summer on the farm when I was a boy of 16. Mrs. Broad's big ass was so beautiful and wide, such a wonderful sight, I just wanted to go for a ride. She let that ass from the barn that day. I reached out for a pat, she slapped my hand away. She said, this ass is too much of a handful for you. You should just go for a walk with your girl Betty Lou. Mrs. Broad had style and plenty of sass, but I just couldn't take my eyes off Mrs. Broad's big ass. It was the biggest, roundest ass I'd ever seen. That day at the farm with the donkey sanctuary, Mrs. Broad's big ass was so beautiful and wide, such a wonderful sight, I just wanted to go for a ride. Oh, well, Mrs. Broad, she was Betty Lou, mama, she was patting that ass. I began to stammer. When it was time to go home, I could have stayed all day. Instead, I stood and stared as that ass walked away. Hey, it was the biggest, roundest ass I'd ever seen. That day at the farm with the donkey sanctuary, Mrs. Broad's big ass was so beautiful and wide, such a wonderful sight, I just wanted to go for a ride. Oh, Mrs. Broad, she was Betty Lou's mama, she was patting that ass. I began to stammer. When it was time to go home, I could have stayed all day. Instead, I stood and stared as that ass walked away. Hey, it was the biggest, roundest ass I'd ever seen. That day at the farm with the donkey sanctuary, Mrs. Broad's big ass was so beautiful and wide, such a wonderful sight, I just wanted to go for a ride. The best I ever seen. Mrs. Broad's big ass, wanna see it free. If there's three Broad's big ass, it was such a handful. It was such a handful. It was so wonderful.